So day 1 of week 2 is done. It was straight across sets for bench, so I did 65 kilos, which is 140 something pounds for 4 sets of 12. Tricep did not get as pumped today, so I'm pretty excited about that. Really focusing on not squeezing with my left hand as much.
So we are on day 5 of week 2, the hardest day of the week in my opinion, which is the deadlifts followed by the high bar pause squats. So what I like to do before I jump into my training is I like to go on my laptop because it's just easier for me. I like to write down my numbers on a piece of paper because I'm going to be 43 years old. I'm still old school. I like to have things in a notebook, and I use my phone for recording and for music. So I like to put it on a piece of paper and use the program in the laptop. So if we go to week 1, I had a top set of 10 and I ended up doing 137.5. It rounds up to 138, and then that gave me my drop sets. So I thought this week would be a straight across sets, but it is not. It's a 1x10 with 0 reps in reserve. So just based on last week and based on I don't know how I'm going to feel as warm-ups go, I like to give myself 3 options. The lower option being if I did 137.5 last week, I don't feel so great, and then maybe my 0 reps in reserve is 140. That gives me my drop down sets here. Middle of the road, I plug in 142.5, and that changes my drop down sets to 127.5. And then let's just say I'm feeling freaking fantastic, which ideally I'd like to hit 145 today. That populates my drop down sets to 130. And then just based on the week before, I plug in the numbers here. Again, these can change. I give myself about 2 to 3 options, write it in a notebook, and then circle the option that I go with once that my training starts. And then I come back here and then plug in the numbers that I actually use. That this way it populates in for the following week. And that's how I like to do it until the app comes out. To me, that's just easier way. Also, again, I'm 43 years old. I've always used notebooks, and notebooks to me is just a lot easier, and I like to be able to use a pen and paper and write squiggly, pictures and write I hate this and write my thoughts in a notebook. It's just much easier for me that way. But this is the way that I do it, and I find it really helpful, and you guys can use this method too, or use a method that you think is going to be more helpful for you. So guys, just food for thought. Get your mind right, because sometimes your body lies to you. I know for me, when I have a top set, I have a plan A, plan B, and plan C, just depending on how I feel and how warm-ups are going. But sometimes you can already start talking yourself out of the top set that you have in mind, your plan A, because you wake up, you're tired, you didn't get your breakfast wasn't as good as you wanted it to be. Warm-ups might not feel as sharp as you want them to be. So, make sure that you get your mind right, because your body is capable of a lot of things. So don't let it talk you out of that top set that you want to do. So just so you guys know, I am not some kind of robot. I had down sets of 130 kilos. After my top set, I had 3 sets of 10 with 130 kilos. I was able to do 2 sets with 0 reps in reserve, but I knew after that second set, there was no way in hell I was going to be able to do another set of 10, so I dropped to 120 kilos and finished my 3rd set. So I will still put that I did 130 kilos in my Excel sheet, but I will adjust the fatigue rating to a 5.